Welcome to Chapter Sass, the podcast where we deep dive into the books that make you blush, gasp, and maybe even think a little. I'm your host, Season, and with every book, I'll be joined with a new co-host with their own hot take. From spicy romances to messy love triangles and all the glorious chaos in between, we're here with a fresh perspective to unpack the stories we love, question what we think we know, and explore how the book speaks to us. Things might even get a little sassy. This episode is rated mature and will contain spoilers. Let's get into the first chapter. Welcome back. We're going to cover all the books of Agatar before the October 27th Book 6 release date. If you like slightly dramatic recaps, unhinged theories, some foul language, and knowing I won't say a single name correctly, and guys, we have all the High Lords, so I might mess up some names, you are in the right place. Make sure to subscribe and like this episode. Today, we're going to cover the third book in the Agatar series, so Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, and we're going to cover the end of part 2, so chapters 41 through 50. We'll do a high-level overview of designated chapters for each episode, and of course, we'll end each episode with a sassy topic. This episode will contain spoilers and mature content. Let's meet our co-hosts. So Derek went out on he's just getting something to drink, so he'll be back, so he'll join us later. But for right now, Jadi, how are you? How was your weekend?
I am great. I don't know why every Monday, I have no idea what I did over the weekend.
Yeah.
Like every Monday you ask that question and every Monday I go, fuck, what did I do this weekend?
Yeah.
So let's say it was good because I don't remember not having a good weekend.
Okay, that's fair. Guys, surprised that Jadi's not here because I thought she was in Puerto Rico today, but she goes tomorrow. So Jadi's going to come back and she's going to be all tan and she's going to be gorgeous and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, Andrea. How are you? How are you doing? What did you do this weekend?
I'm cool. What I do? I'm packing. That's it.
You got a haircut. You got a haircut.
I'm part of the Bob Club.
I was
and
like,
I got
looking
bangs.
fresh. Yes.
We're just going to push those back and just...
Love it. I love it.
It's too hot for bangs on your forehead, you know.
Okay, Jadi, what are you drinking? I forgot to ask.
I only have water.
Fair.
Water girly today.
Andrea, what are you drinking?
Water, and then my husband, we went and we got rid of a bunch of stuff, and so on the way back we went to the gas station. This is a gas station fountain pop, and it's Dr. Pepper with vanilla and strawberry syrup.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
Okay.
All right. I had an adventurous weekend. Friday, Keith and I went to the Harry Potter drone show. 10 out of 10 recommend. They did like all these scenes with drones and stuff. Turns out I had VIP tickets, so Keith and I were in the front. No one bothered us. Then on Saturday, as part of my social club, we had the I Can't Believe It's Not Champagne showcase. So pretty much we had all like sparkling wines or wines that could be confused for champagne but are not champagne because it's only champagne if it comes from Champagne, France. So we did that. I drank a lot. So today, what am I drinking? I have some tea because my throat's also a little scratchy. So I'm going to take care of myself. But we have like these flower teas, and this one's called the Shooting Star. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah.
Pretty.
Yeah. So it's Andrea looks concerned.
Why the hell is there a full flower in there?
It's an edible like
is it
flower,
real?
like infused. Yeah, it tastes really good. The tea tastes very
You never
florally.
had like dandelion tea?
Can't say that I have.
Yeah. This
it's very
is it.
calming.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Oh, I think the only tea that I really get on board with is apple cider, and I don't even think that's tea for real. Oh no, wait, are chai teas tea?
Yeah, I would consider that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the only tea. So okay, you had to bring me up to speed with it.
Okay, perfect. Well, this tea tastes like very florally. That's a word. And it's great. Oh, Derek joined. Derek,
from the parking lot.
From the parking lot. We just said, what are you drinking?
Not soon to know.
Derek will join, I'm pretty sure, with his signature drink. But in the meantime, oh, wait, Derek, what did you do this weekend? Jadi forgot.
Jadi forgot what we did? Or what I did?
We weren't together. We weren't together this weekend, right?
We were, but we weren't.
No.
She helped me get a like an emotional reset on my apartment by helping me clean it, reorganize it, decorate it.
I've
It was
already
absolutely
suppressed
amazing.
it.
You already suppressed
Oh,
the trauma that it was to reset for me. Yes, thank you
I
so
see.
much.
Well, I've never saw the first place, but can't wait to see the second place. So,
Oh, it's the same place.
the redecorating. Well, I
Yeah.
meant like the decoration. Is it since we're resetting, we're putting new vibes out there? Yeah. Okay. So, everyone, let's get into the next chapter. And so, really quick recap of where we are. Feyre goes undercover for Operation Spring Cleaning, and she turns the Spring Court against Tamlin. Needing to run from the Spring Court, Lucian and Feyre head to the Autumn Court. While trying to escape Lucian's brothers, Feyre uses her fire magic, and now Eris knows she can wield fire like his dad. Finally, the inner circle is reunited, and Feyre checks in on her newly turned Fae sisters. Nessa's RBF is still going strong, and because she took something from the cauldron, it is not working 100%. Elain, we discover, is a seer and lets everyone know that Vasa is cursed and somewhere far, far away. Lucian, realizing he is not going to get lucky anytime soon, volunteers to go look for her. Ravens come, and it's because even though we know what it is, we find out it at the end of the set of chapters, it gives it a welcome gift that is to die for. Hybern attacks the Summer Court. After the attack on the Summer Court, the High Lords have now decided to move up the meeting, and it is in 3 days. Next chapter. Okay, chapter 41. So it's time for the High Lords meeting. Everyone but Amryn, Nesta, and Elain are going, or not going. Or so we think. Nesta has had a change of heart and decides to go. She doesn't want to be remembered as someone who never fought back, aka she not doing anything like when they were poor. Rhys makes Nessa emissary to the human lands. Everyone is dressed to the tens for this meeting. Even though Feyre and Rhys have been married for a while and she is the High Lady, she is now only seeing the troves of family jewels. So, didn't get to see the family jewels before. Feyre decides to wear one of the crowns to this meeting. And Rhys is showing up to the meeting in his wings that he normally keeps hidden. Normally, when all the High Lords met before, they would meet under the mountain because that was a neutral spot. But because of Amarantha, it is now closed off and they needed a new place to go. So after going back and forth and deciding where the meeting will take place, it has been decided that it will take place at the Dawn Court because the Dawn Court was the closest to the middle area that wasn't the Winter Court. And so just as a reminder, we have solar courts. So we have dawn, day, night, and then we have the seasonal courts, winter, spring, summer, autumn. The solar courts tend to have more loyalty to the courts that are also in this part of the solar courts. And the same goes for the seasonal courts. They tend to have more loyalty to those who are considered the seasonal courts. Guys, and this is where I might mess up some names, so feel free to help me.
I got you.
Thiessen?
Don't
Is
you even
Thiessen
worry
the
about it.
name?
Yes.
Thiessen, High Lord of Dawncourt, is where the meeting's taking place. And he is part of the Peregrines, or he has Peregrines with him who are also winged creatures, but they're not
Okay.
Illyrians.
I don't think you're saying that right, but
No.
I know what you're talking about.
It's not Peregrine. I did it hyphenated so I could remember it because I thought that's what it said.
It's like
Seraphim, right?
No,
no.
Seraphins are the other ones. So there are
it's
Seraphins.
like Parageeson or something. The Peregrine.
Maybe Peregrine, not Gwen. Okay.
Right. With the R. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Very close.
Peregrines. Okay. The
What?
Peregrines.
Grins. Yeah.
We established our zone work for me. The Peregrines are also at the Dawn Court, and there are they are far off relatives of the Seraphins. And this court is associated with healing. Helion is High Lord of the Day Court and Lucian's biological father. More on that later. His nickname is also Spell Cleaver. Cleus is the High Lord of Winter Court, who's recently married Vivian, who is also his mate. Vivian and Moore go way back, and while Cleus was under the mountain, Vivian protected the Winter Court. Tamlin, we all know, is the High Lord of the Spring Court. While everyone doubted Tamlin would come, he does eventually show up. More on that later. Baron is the High Lord of the Autumn Court. He's a jerk. More on that later. And then Tarquin is there, and he's the High Lord of the Summer Court, and we already knew that.
We love Tarquin.
So
he is a chocolate daddy.
He is. Thiessen, Helion, and Callias and Rhys are all on time. And after about an hour, Tarquin shows up with Varian and Crisada. I forgot how to say her name, but his cousins or the prince and princess. Yeah. Varian is looking for Amren, but she's not there, and he's a little sad. Then Baron shows up with his sons and wife. Lucian's mom scans the room in hopes to find her son Lucian, but realizes he's not there. But she does land on Helion and then looks away very quickly. Guys, the tea is getting good here. More on that later. Then, showing up fashionably late, Tamlin strolls in. Everyone is shocked. And Barrett even calls out Tamlin, saying, like, don't you have allegiance elsewhere? Tamlin, who is still butthurt and can't get over things, throws shade at Feyre and Rhys whenever he can. And so I have a few quotes written down here. That he says,
got some stuff in here too. Come on.
Okay, cool. Whatever I missed, let me know. Okay, so one of the things he says, and I'm quoting, when you fuck her, have you ever noticed the little noises she makes right before she climax? And he says this to Rhys because he's all butthurt. Then he says, I meant to fight Hybern and find a way around the bargain I had made with the king once she was back. Only Rhysand turned her into one of them. And she delighted into ripping my own territory for Hybern to invade. So he's just, again, feeling all types of shadiness. Then they peddle tales of defending our land and peace. And yet she comes to my lands and lays them bare for Hybern. She took my high priestesses and warped her mind after she shattered her bones for spite. And if you are asking yourself what happened to that human girl under the mountain to save us, look at the male sitting beside her. And so on and so on and so on. Again, Tamlin just butthurt. Are there any ones that I missed that you guys want to say?
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go back.
There might be more that I say later if he says them later, but I'll let you go first. Go.
So
doing justice, Andrea.
First of all, you said Tamlin strolled in. That man broke the door off the hinges again.
He strolled in Tamlin fashion.
Fair. And so then, I'm not in the business of discussing our plans with enemies. No, Tamlin said with equal ease. You're just in the business of fucking them.
Yes.
Caesar, how you going to gloss over that? How you going to leave that out?
There's because every other time he said something because he's butthurt. You have to pick and choose.
There's more. There is more.
There's a lot more.
A far less destructive alternative to war. And yet here you are having started it in the first place.
Again, he's just butthurt.
So butthurt. If you hadn't stolen my bride away in the night, like he is big fucking mad. When you fuck her, have you ever noticed? And this was the craziest part, right? Rhysand looked Feyre up and down like, damn, he's right. He didn't even respond to the shit was the craziest part. Like, we were all like, oh! And Rhysand was like, damn, he's right.
Yeah, he did. I mean,
let me see what else was there.
She's, I love it. What else?
I don't know if there was anything else inappropriate necessarily, but
I might have a few more because then him and Baron get into it, and Baron needs to show his dick off a little bit later, so don't you worry.
Yeah. Go.
Okay, so this goes on back and forth. They're just throwing shade. Everyone's throwing shade at each other. But then this leads the other High Lords to question Rhys, and they do this more than once, but this is like the first time that they do it. And they believe that he just stood by as Amarantha's whore. And then they go on to speak of the time that Amarantha killed the 24 younglings or children at the Winter Court. And Rhys explains that he thought that he had convinced Amarantha not to go through with that plan, especially because she actually wanted to kill Callias instead for the whole Winter Court rebelling. And then like Vivian is like taken aback and she's like, oh my God, I didn't realize this. But instead that night, Amarantha made Rhys service her and then had her people go to the Winter Court and kill the children. So he does feel bad. And like he found out that this was going on when everyone else found out about it. After this, Tamlin is asked like, why is he here? Because he just responds that he was always gonna go up against Hybern. And then Tamlin hands over like a stack of papers and it has a ton of information on like Hybern supplies, army count, weapon count, et cetera, how much fading there is, and all this. All the rest of the High Lords don't know if they can trust Tamlin, but Helion does take the stack of papers with him. Then they go on again because they need to question each other and they need to throw shade. They start to question again Rhys's loyalty and the Night Court's loyalty. And so they were like, how did you even know that the Summer Court was under attack if you're not working with Hybern? And then Varian explains that he was the one who sent word to the Night Court. And so Tarquin's like, what? And it's like, yeah, he had to protect his boo who was there. But so like now we know that there's something else going on here. And again, Tamlin being Tamlin is still trying to poke at Freya and Rhys. And so but then Rhys uses his power to shut Tamlin up and prove that he is the most powerful High Lord that there is. And then Rhys is like, if you're questioning my loyalty, then remember, it'd be easier for me just to make you guys do this instead of me sitting here trying to have a discussion with you all.
You fucking
and
tell him,
my
Sam.
drop.
You fucking
You guys,
tell
you
him.
guys, you guys, you guys, you guys, you guys, you guys. It was the nonchalance. He sat his head back and looked at him like, yeah, like, yo, I can't decide what character his demeanor reminds me of. And maybe there is nobody that exists, but it feels like reminiscent of somebody who's just like so blasé about their immense power. And that like, I can't, it's
Have you ever watched Lucifer?
maybe that's what it is. You know what? I think it just got added to my queue.
Lucifer, so I can't make that connection.
You need to.
It's so good.
But this isn't the same connection, I would say. But I would say probably like Thor though, because Thor just like knows he's all powerful and is just like
Loki.
Or Loki, yeah, like one of them, they're just like that,
But
yeah.
Loki's not as powerful as
But his swagger and demeanor.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Cause like Thor is kind of cocky about how he's all powerful. And like, it's, yeah, we're going to dive into that. We'll find somebody that we all collectively are like, oh yeah,
Thor
this is
not.
Can't wait for Doomsday. I'm gonna have to rewatch all of Loki season 1 and 2 again just to remind myself because so much happened in that. But back to this. Rhys is like, I could just make you guys join me instead of sitting here, listen to you all bicker. Then Baron starts up with his assholeness and starts asking like, well, where's my son? And then Eris goes to mention like, oh, we know Elain's his mate. And so now they're freaking out because they're like, shit, what happened to Lucian's last lover? They killed her. So like now they're a little bit worried for Elain. But then there's a lot more going back and forth and fighting. And then somehow Mor gets involved. And then Eris calls Mor a slut. And at this point, Azriel's like, done. And he just like goes up against him. And he does get his ass handed to him. Azriel does kind of like do some stuff. Ares is just dying, doesn't know what to do, like choking on himself over here. And then Feyre is the one who'd be like, okay, Azriel, that's enough now. Like, let's not go and do this.
Do we have time to unpack this? I want to unpack this.
Yeah,
because
we can unpack
Rhysand was like, enough. And then he had to say it again. And then here comes Feyre to pull Azriel out of this, which I also would like to unpack. Why did this trigger Azriel so intensely to make him react like this?
I think he's still feeling, I think they kind of mentioned a little bit in the book that he's still feeling some type of way what happened at the Court of Nightmares. And like, they kind of went behind Mor's back. So I think he's just like kind of extra protective of her right now.
Oh, well,
and like she doesn't have like, she doesn't want to work with Eris or anything, but like they have to. So I think like, and he's supposed to know, right? Like Eris knows that we have this alliance and like he's supposed to be, on like their side. To be fair, devil's advocate, Eris does have to continue to play his part. So,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
he needed to call her something, maybe not a slut, but like he needed to do something there because he needs to like play his role. But pretty much he is like on top of him, and Feyre's like, okay, now let's not do that anymore. And so Asriel only listens to Feyre because Rhys does tell him to get off him like twice, and he doesn't. And then Feyre says, I don't care for allies in this war. If you insult my friend again, I won't stop him next time. So put your tail between your legs and keep your mouth shut, pretty much is what she is saying. So
It was
to get
so
the meeting,
messy.
so to try to get the meeting back on track, Elain says, like, after looking over the stacks of paper that Tamlin gave him, he's like, I have 2 suggestions. First, we need to destroy all the Faebane that Hybern has. And Thiessen explains that he's actually been working on this and causing his master tinkerer. And she has like this mechanical arm, very similar to Lucian's eye. So we know she is the one that gave
We know it
Lucian
don't
his
work.
eye. Yes.
We know it don't fucking work. Because his shit don't work. So you telling me, Mr. I can detect glamours, we supposed to trust her?
Let's hope let's hope she's the good and Lucian just doesn't know how to. Let's hope it's user
Let's
error.
hope. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
Baron
know,
was
and
onto
not.
something. He was like, I don't know about this. And he was right. Hey, I mean, Baron had some valid points. Like, we agree, bro. Do you see her latest work? The shit ain't working out.
Let's hope it's user error in Lucian's behalf and not because
You're
she
right.
messed up.
You're
Okay?
right.
Let's hope it's user error in that sense.
It got
and
installed
not,
wrong. You're
yeah.
right. Yeah, that's what it was. You're right.
Jesus.
But I do want to talk about this a little bit.
Oh, good.
Because, again, I don't know if this is a Crescent City or anything, but who do you think Amryn is?
I can't tell you. Why you almost get me to spoiler you?
Well, because you had said in a previous episode that you think Amryn was someone else and you kept that quiet. So what I'm saying is I would like to unpack this. So then Feyre thinks to herself, and I'm quoting from the book, because she's looking at the Master Tinkerer's face, and she says, but her face, I wondered if Amryn had modeled her own features after a similar bloodline when she bound herself to this Fae body. The sharp chin, the round cheeks, the stunning up-tilted eyes. But where Amryn's was unholy silver, this female's was dark as onyx. So, what do we think?
There is a character. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
At this point, specifically, Noan is not pivotal, but I don't know.
I'm
just at this point,
about where she's from.
Because I'm trying to think in Crescent City if there is anybody who kind of have these kind of features and characteristics and descriptors that and I don't think there is. Though I will say the serpent thing that Helian's wearing, I thought that was wild when I did this reread because there's a snake situation in Crescent City that's a huge fucking deal. So I would keep an eye on that.
Okay, fair, because I didn't have that written down because I didn't think it was important, but now
I
the
mean, on the initial read, you don't know for real anything about it. And I necessarily at this point still don't know if it means anything, but Helian feels like a big fucking character in this series.
I think whenever we get Moore's book, which maybe that's the next one. I think if we get Moore's book next, because the book will be separated, Lucian is gonna have to be connected to Moore.
To Helian.
Just through because of Eris. So I think we'll get more information just through that. Yeah.
But no, Amryn, I think she all right, now you got me thinking. Okay.
Yeah, well, you said that you thought Amryn was this other creature. So then I was wondering, if she took the features of somewhere else, because why does this person look so much like Amryn in her Fae body? Obviously not her real body, but in the Fae body that she, bound herself to. So
yeah. The onyx eyes are also pretty important.
Yeah. So curious. Keep that all in the back of your mind. So the Master Tinkerer has been working on an antidote for the Faebane. It was able to get some samples from the Faebane from Lucian after the attack on Valaris, and the antidote will help them keep their powers. Like if Hybern throws dust at them or whatever. However, if a weapon is made in Feybane and like the weapon attacks them, like that may not necessarily prevent them or prevent the Feybane from getting into them or whatever. So, you know, they're protected for the most part, but if a weapon actually hits them, then they're not necessarily protected in that. And then Baron, just being the ass that he is, because he's going to continue, just starts to belittle everyone, and he belittles the Tinker. What's her name? Nuan?
Nuan, yeah.
Yeah, I have Tinker here. I didn't even put her name.
Yeah.
Nuan. Because her family were considered the loyalists in the last war. And so he's like, how do I know you're not, how do I know that your antidote's going to be safe? Like, I'm not going to take it. And then she goes on to say that she was born in Prythian. This is her home, and she's going to do whatever it takes to protect it for herself and her sons. Pretty much everyone kind of agrees to like take the antidote except for Baron. Eris is like, I've seen the effects of this. I'm going to take it. And Baron's like, no, you're not. I'm daddy. No, you're not. And he's just not having it. So then it comes to Tamlin, and he's pretty much butthurt because now he doesn't have an army that he can give the antidote to. So he goes on and starts saying shit. And, we're going to derail this meeting once again. But this goes to lead to Helian's second point. And his second point is Tamlin must evacuate the Spring Court or whoever is left of the Spring Court, because the war will probably most likely happen on like those lands. And so we just need to get everyone out now. Tarquin agrees to allow Tamlin's people to come on over, that they'll take them. But again, Baron can't leave shit alone and pretty much then tells Vivian to shut up because she's talking, and he's like, shut up, like our wives are here for a courtesy. And she shoots back with, I will be fighting alongside you, so pretty much I deserve a seat at this table, which she is correct. But then this goes for us to lead a little bit more into Lucian's mom. And so we find out that Lucian's mom lost her sisters in the war. Her sisters were able to sneak her out before they were captured and brutally killed. And like they were like tortured and like terribly killed. And so now the topic of like where are the humans going to go gets brought up really quickly. And Baron doesn't want to waste any resources on the humans. He's like, they need to fend for themselves. And so then he goes to attack Rhys's character again by saying, while Rhys was having fun in Amarantha's bed, the High Lords were trying to keep their family safe. And at this point, Feyre has had enough of this, because now he's like, Feyre knows that like Rhysand did not want to be Amarantha's whore. And so she gets all pissed and she lunges her fire power at Baron. And she's just like done. And not only does she show her firepower, she shows like the rest of the powers that she has. And so now Tarquin understands how she got past the wards to get the book. And Baron's like, I want my power back, and throws another little tantrum because that is just who he is. Yep. And then he's like, I'm done with this meeting. And then Nesta stands up and is like, nope, this meeting is not over. And she goes on to explain how Hybern used a cauldron on her. And the humans have suffered far worse than the Fae have after the war. Like, she apologizes for the kids dying, but she's like, kids die all the time in the human lands. We're poor. There's so much to do. Like, we have to protect them. Baron says he'll consider, and then whittles him and his family out. He's like done with this conversation. And then Feyre says, I did not take your power. You gave it to me, along with the gift of my immortal life. I am grateful for both, but they are mine now, and I will do with them as I will.
I'm Team Tamlin.
Oh, okay. Why? Explain.
We are Team Feyre, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're Team Night. We're Team Valaris and like Rhys, and so like yes. Feyre got lumped into that shit. But Tamlin made some valid points.
He did. I'll give that to you.
Like, if I'm just gonna be, devil's advocate like season plays, he made some valid points. He was like, you messed up my high priestess. Like, I was planning to do this in service of you guys, but before I could do that, like, it was super manipulative, but from a person who just showed up by himself, no representation, put himself on the line for Amarantha the same way Rhysand did. Like, yeah, Rhysand was fucking Amarantha, but when it came down to it and Feyre showed up, Tamlin was right there next to Amarantha too. And if Rhysand had the ability to manipulate and persuade Hybern to believe that the Night Court and Valaris and whatever was on Hybern's side, would Rhys not take advantage of that to protect his people, much like Tamlin's doing? So what's the difference? Is it because we're in Feyre's POV and so we're trained to believe that's the side that we're supposed to follow? Because we all believe at this point that Tamlin is a piece of shit. And so we're all ganging up on him, just like the rest of the High Lords. But like Elain, who we thought was trash, we now realize all of these things about her. And we got a little bit of Tamlin's redemption when he helped Elain. And so what if, like, maybe Tamlin isn't the bad guy, but got placed in these shitty circumstances?
Maybe he's not a bad guy, but his choices fucking suck.
No,
And
yeah,
he
you're right.
chose to put himself on an island instead of getting other people involved. He isolated himself and he did not accept the counsel of others, nor did he give his counsel to others. So his lack of communication, once again, fucked him.
Yeah, he's his biggest fucking rival. It's him. So that's why I'm not Team Tamlin, because, dude,
oh no, me
you could have
either.
handled so many things differently, and your court would have been by your side, but you chose Ianthe over your entire court.
Never would have thought that Andrea was such a Team Tamliner.
You know what? I'm not.
Wild.
Eyeball reading this without having the inflection of like the actors. I was like, hang on. He might be on to something.
I do kind of agree with Andrea. I don't actually, but
well,
not necessarily for Tamlin. Hold on, but let me,
okay.
let me get there. Not necessarily for Tamlin. Like, I do think Tamlin made his bed and he's sleeping in it. Yeah. Mine is more for Feyre. Like, she's the one, she's like, I'm going to turn my people against you. She already knew. When she left to go to the Spring Court, Hybern already had the cauldron. Hybern already had this. So, like, she didn't strategize in my head. Like, for me, it's like, cool, I understand you didn't want his men to be there. Then where are his men? Like, if you were going to strategize, because you need these people. Like, like, so, like, you could have turned his men against him, but then could have been like, come with me, come here, whatever, because we still need this army that's not there. Like, she did not strategize in the long run at all. And she was only thinking about herself and like, how do I get him to suffer? And it's like, well, Tamlin is right now. He doesn't have an army to help. All his people left.
Is what I'm trying to say. Yes.
And they don't have anywhere near the amount of people that they need to defeat Hybern. So like, Feyre is clearly never going to be general of any army, but like,
no, she's trash.
You know,
she
but I
doesn't
do
know how to spell
agree.
general.
Like, she did that right.
No, yeah.
20 at this point.
Does she get birthdays?
Yeah, she's 20.
She gets a pass.
You are right. Tamlin's trash. You are right.
I'm
we're
gonna
all
die
in the same boat.
on the hill of, damn, she gave you a fucking layup here. She gave you a show your people that you fucking care about them. And you said, nah, I'm gonna go suck Ianthe's dick.
That is literally what she did.
So, yeah. Whatever.
But in this instance, he almost got me.
Like I said, I do agree with you. Like, how are you going to expect the Spring Court to even try to fight back at this point if there's no one there to do? So, like, I get your point, but he's like, yeah, he made his bed and he's sleeping in it, or he has to lay in it now. But
he's gonna die.
I think Feyre could have, tried to,
right?
Yeah. Okay. Could have tried to.
I was gonna say we all want to. He gone, right? Like him and Lucian out of here.
No, Lucian's not out of here, especially after this. Especially after this, I'm gonna say Lucian is not out of here. Okay, so then Vivian stands up and says she will fight with Feyre and like the Night Court. So does Chris. How do you say her name? The other lady.
Cressida.
Yeah. Cressida. Yeah, Cressida says she will too, and she gets up and then leave it to the women to get shit back on track because the men are swinging their dicks around to see whose is bigger. And then the rest of the High Lords follow. And then they all need to stay the night because they're not done talking about the war, but war talk will resume in the morning. And so back in the room, the inner circle starts to like regroup, and then there's a knock on the door, and it's Elain. And turns out Elain and Reese are friends, and Elain was just putting up a front and was like trying to be like the jerk. But then we find out that Elain is low-key a freak and would love to have more Cassian and Azriel in his bed at the same time.
Elain is Derek's boy.
Elain is me.
Elain is Derek's daddy.
Elain is me if I was Faye.
Yo, when Rhysand was like, he's been trying to get that thruple, then I was like, yo,
know what I mean?
We apparently cooked this up. Meanwhile, we've all read the series before, but like,
that's a turducken he's been plucking.
Oh my God, Jesus.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay.
God.
So then we get some of Elain's backstory, just a little bit of it. He explains that when the Lady of the Autumn Court ran away, right, like when her sister saved her, she also was about to be captured, but he ends up saving her. I wish we had a name for Lucian's mom, but he ends up saving Lucian's mom. And then they ended up having an affair for decades. But when Baron found out about it, the affair stopped. But the Lady of the Autumn Court did pay with bruises, belittling, at whatever Baron wanted to do. She had to endure it. Now she's like a quiet little, meek little thing. Like even when she's at these things, she doesn't like say anything. So, would love that story a little bit better. But then Feyre asked, like, okay, well, if she was your lover, then why didn't you like stop Baron? And Elain says, Baron is the High Lord and she is his wife, mother of his brood. She chose to stay, and with the protocols and rules, lady, you will find in most situations like this does not end well for those who interfere. So pretty much he was never going to get her out, even though he clearly still loves Lucian's.
He was salty. He was salty that he couldn't fucking have her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yo, two things.
Actually,
First
he put that on her, didn't he? Because he said several times she chose, right?
Oh yeah.
Which I mean, that
but
tells
also
me
she
like
can't just lead either. Like,
I mean, but did Elain say that? No, he said she chose.
Right.
She chose to stay with him.
Coming from a woman now perspective, she doesn't have anything. Her family sold her off. Her family is in the Autumn Court. Her sons are in the Autumn Court. If she
just as powerful as Baron, though.
Right, but she wouldn't be able to take her kids. Like I feel like she stayed for the kids.
Her kids are trash.
Right, but they're still her kids. She still loves them, and she can't like leave. Like Baron's not gonna allow them to like go visit their mom. You know what I mean? Like I think she stayed for the kids.
Yeah, he felt some type of way about it. You right?
He did.
It was the italicized chose. I don't know if y'all got the book version, but it's a italicized chose.
Mm-hmm.
He felt some type of way about that. Wait. We have to go back.
Go ahead.
The missing libraries. Do you guys notice, like, throughout all of the books, there's a library associated or important in the entirety of a situation? I can't remember specifically in Throne of Glass, but I know.
I was going to say, what was the library for Throne of Glass? There was a library because that's where who's the healer? Nezrin or
Nezrin? No, Irene.
Irene. She did have to get books and whatever. So there was a library. Yeah.
The library situation mentioned right here is, I'm going to say, important because
Crescent City, which we're going to read shortly.
Crescent City, in the beginning of the first book, like we specifically get a title that's mentioned in here, and they're mentioning this missing libraries.
Okay.
I'm gonna need a little more. I'm gonna need like 20% more.
What's happening?
Keep it in your brain space. That was the first thing I had to say. The second thing I had to say, I don't know about you guys, but I never, ever, ever would want to be in a room with my now significant other and somebody I used to have relationships with. And there was multiple of that going on. And it was so messy and uncomfortable for everybody involved. And nobody even knew for real. Because you telling me Baron knew about Helian and Lady Autumn, and they were just all sitting there chill. Meanwhile, Tamlin, Rhysand, and Feyre are all sitting there in the same. And I'm just like, why is this so much messy?
And we're assuming no one else fucked each other. So
we're assuming, because I'm still in the camp that something must have happened with Mor and Azriel, because we know something happened with Mor and Cassian.
Well, Mor did. Oh, Cleo's at the door. My sister's dog's at the door and she hears me, so she's trying to come in. So
anyways,
no, we know
for
a fact, unless they're lying, nothing happened between Azriel and Mor, but Mor did fuck. She lost her virginity to Cassian.
Right.
Yeah, and now Nesta in the same room with Cassian and Mor. That's messy too.
That is. You're right. I didn't even think of it this way. I'm loving this.
And I'm not convinced that Mor and Vivienne didn't do nothing. And Vivienne,
that's
somebody
possible.
else's.
Yeah,
that's
sadly.
That's a lot of mess. That's why they so dramatic in this damn meeting. That's what it was. They like, we got some stuff to get off our chest.
Yeah, one giant orgy. Let's get it out of the way.
Helian invited everyone and he said, let's go. Feyre then starts to notice the similarities with Helian and Lucien. And then she tells Rhys through the bond, I think this is Lucien's real dad. And now Rhys is really looking at him and he's like, oh shit, I think you're right. And the thing
was
that
like,
I
whatever
love
the
about,
fuck you just figured out, cool it.
And the thing that I love about rereading is because I read these books, or at least this one, I don't know, last year, 2-3 years ago, whatever. It's been some time, right? And so we were talking earlier about like, how does Lucien have fire magic and how do we do this? And it's because these little things like don't like stand out to us, but they do explain it in here. So we do get a little bit more information on it. So like, so glad we're rereading. But pretty much now that Feyre is realizing that, you know, there's all these similarities, then she starts to be like, oh, the family knows. Like, Baron knows. The sons know. His brothers know. She was like, this is why the brothers are tormenting him. This is why Eris doesn't view Lucien as a threat to his succession. But to save face, Baron has passed off Lucien as his son. And the firepower could have came from his mom because his mom was from a very powerful family line. And that's why she was sold off to Baron, was to like keep that going. That's how that worked. It's like, so Lucien comes from a very powerful mommy line. And now we find out that Lucien is the sole heir to the Day Court because they do believe that Helian does not know that that is his son. So,
his son is the same. Like, yeah girl.
Yeah, we needed Maury to be there and to be like, you are the father.
Not Maury. No, we needed Lucien's punk ass eye.
Right.
That's true. Okay. So then Nessa comes in and tells everyone they need to leave now. Something is wrong. And she feels that like something is wrong. And so they're asking her what it is. And she can't pinpoint like what she's feeling, but she just knows like her face, everything is wrong. So Cassian, Azriel, and Rhys like check out the palace. They speak to Amren. There's nothing wrong in Valar. So they don't know what's wrong. So they pretty much are just like, Nessa, we're going to say we don't know why you're feeling this way, but like, everything is safe here. And so everyone goes back to what they were doing. Mor takes Helian to her bed, fucks him all night long. And then Feyre asks, what about Cassian and Azriel? And Rhys says, Azriel will have to decide if he's going to fight for Mor. And Cassian, well, he's going to have to figure that shit out in the near future. And then she asks, like, do you think him and Nessa are mates? And Rhys is like, it's very hard to tell until the mate bond clicks. But guys, great foreshadowing.
Come the fuck on. It's so obvious.
Great foreshadowing.
You guys, the tension and yearning between them whenever they went and Mor's trying to get Cassian's attention and Cassian was like, shh, 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 my girl is here. And he was like zoned in on her. And he was like, you know how they describe like he traces her face and like, and then they're here and oh, yes. And then right now when she's like, something's
That was
wrong.
the noise
And
Moore
he
was
was
making at
not
night.
even in the room. And he comes in like, what happened? Like, how did he know? I was like, oh my God.
Like I said, great foreshadowing for these two little lovebirds. And then
Little
it's the next
lovebirds. You
morning and
mean
it's
fucking
time.
fuck bunnies.
And then
Lovebirds is cute. They doing nasty stuff in a dining room
You know what I'm
table.
saying?
all types of stuff. They did it all through the House of Wind. All through.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Nothing but mammals.
Can't wait for Silver Flame. Can't wait for Silver Flame. It's my favorite book in the series. But anyways, it is now morning and it's time for more war talk. And so while they're sitting at the table, all of a sudden Nessa gets up unexpectedly. She's like clutching her chest. Then she's like puking into the pool. People are like, oh my God, what's wrong? They think it might be poison. But then Nessa says, and I quote, something is wrong. Not with me, but with the cauldron. And then they feel, and it says the earth shudder. So it does. Like, I went back and looked and I was like, let me make sure I'm reading this. She does say earth. So I don't know if that is important because if we're going to connect everything into all the universes or whatever, like, is Prithian really on Earth? I don't know. Like, in my head, it was in another faraway galaxy, like not Earth. But it does say they felt the shudder through the Earth. So unless, I don't know.
I assume it to be their Earth. Whatever.
But
Fair.
in Crescent City, it's called Midgard,
Which is also Earth.
which is it's like a separate, they're not in the same thing. But Earth is wild because they've either addressed it as the island, or they say on the continent, or they say the realm, or they say the world, but Earth is specific.
Prithian, Hybern, and the continent are modeled after England, Ireland, and Europe.
That's good to know. I had no idea.
You didn't catch that?
I have zero geography. We talked about this before. I couldn't tell you west and left. It doesn't. There's nothing going on.
So the continent is Europe, and obviously Prithian is the island of England or Great Britain, or not Great Britain, England, and then Hybern is over where Ireland is as an island.
My husband can vouch that I could tell you where none of that is.
Yeah, I didn't know all that. I do know though that like the places where's Valaris after Switzerland, Germany? Do we know? Like you can map, visit, you can visit Valaris in like real life, like the city that it was like modeled after. I want to say Switzerland or Germany,
sounds
like
right.
one of those two.
If I show it to you on the map, can you tell us?
No, I would need you to Google. I would need for you to Google that, but I think it's one of them. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So then they feel the shudder through the earth and like the impact comes. Reese goes on top of Feyre to protect her. And then they know what's happened. The king has used the cauldron to attack the wall. The wall has shattered and it is gone. Nessa's connection, and now they're realizing that Nessa's connection to the cauldron allows her to sense what is happening, which means this is another reason why Hybern wants Nessa, is because now she can alert them anytime he's going to use the cauldron because she's going to feel it. So now everyone left, but they're getting ready for war. Thiessen promised to have shipments of the antidote sent to all the other courts as quickly as possible. And his Peregrines will help the Illyrians in the air. Kallias, Tarquin, and Helion swore their armies are going to follow up and they're going to help. Back at the townhouse, now we start to think, oh my God, what of the humans? What are the people on the Archeron estate? And so there's no way to save them all. And so then Elain says, well, we can move them all to Grayson's estate. And Grayson and his dad, who hate the Fae, have been planning for this for years and years and years. They have walls that are super tall. They have underground tunnels. They're growing ash trees. They have weapons made of these ash trees, like hundreds and thousands of them. They have dogs that are trained to detect the Fae. So pretty much Papa Grayson was ready for the apocalypse. He was like, I'm ready. Let's make this bunker. Let's go. And so Elain is like, if I can talk to Grayson.
What's so crazy is Elain has known that.
So Elain is like, if I could talk to Grayson, I can maybe convince him to like allow the humans in. Like, this is the best shot that we have. But now that she's Fae, the dogs are going to detect her. And no one thinks this is smart. Like, Feyre's like, I'll go. Nessa's like, I'll go. And Elain's like, well, he's never met you, Feyre, so like you can't go. And Nessa's like, he sure doesn't like you, so like you're a bad alternative to go also. So Elain is like, okay, glamour me to look human, and then you guys come with me so that the dogs detect you guys, so that when they think the dogs are going crazy, then that they're smelling you, they won't like necessarily smell me, and then I'm gonna try to convince Grayson to help the rest of the humans, and then you guys can all put the wards up because you need more than just the weapons to fight against the Fae. And so they said, they all agreed that that's going to be the plan. So now everyone's going back. They have like an hour to like ready for war. And so now the sisters are together, and Elain asks Feyre to please not to kill Grayson, and Feyre says she can't promise that she can't kill him, but she's going to do her best to avoid killing him. Nessa now blames herself for the wall. She believes that she should have not gone to the High Lords meeting, and that she should have, been practicing with the book. And Feyre realizes that this wall is what gave Nessa a purpose. This is why she's been wanting to help them. Like, now she feels like she has something to do in life. Also, kind of goes with Silver Flames, lights foreshadowing for Silver Flames. Then Cassian gives Nessa a really quick combat lesson. He gives her an Illyrian knife and shows her all the sensitive parts of a man. Woo! But he pretty much shows her how to, like, try to free herself if she can. And Cassian explains that, like, you are Fae now, so Ash can kill you, so you need to stay away from Ash, and you need to be careful. Feyre then says, I need to visit Amryn, and goes to her little apartment, and then asks Amryn, do you know of the creature in the library? And Amryn says, yes, it's Braxis. And Feyre says, well, I need to ask it for another deal. Amryn, come with me. So they're at the bottom of the library. Braxis is there, and I don't know if Braxis is a he or a she, because even in the audio, it's
I think
like
it's a sister.
They them.
It's a they them. Yeah, it's a them.
Because
Yeah.
I thought, isn't Bryaxis a sibling of the Bone Carver, and the Bone Carver calls the Weaver and Bryaxis its sisters?
No,
Or did I just make that up?
The Weaver is its sister. I didn't know Bryaxis was his sister. I think you made that up.
Let me ask chat.
Yeah, ask chat. So then Bryaxis is like, ooh, what did you bring me? Because Amryn is now there. So it's like, what is Amryn? And then Feyre responds, someone that is like you, or like you can be like them. Feyre explains that there is a war, and she's here to make another deal. Feyre offers Bryaxis its freedom in exchange for help in the war. But Bryaxis says, this is my home. Go. What happened?
Koschei. Oh my fucking God, I forgot all about Koschei. Keep going.
Oh, the brother?
Yeah, the Bone Carver of the Weaver and Koschei.
Yes. We get him later. Yeah, it's too early. So Bryaxis says, this is my home. It's not trying to leave or anything. And then Feyre's like, okay, well, then what do you want, Bryaxis? And Bryaxis says, sunlight, moonlight, and the stars. And Amryn's like, perfect. You'll get a window. And Bryaxis is like, will I be able to hunt without restraint on the battlefield, drink in their fear and dread until I am sated? And Feyre responds, yes, but only Hybern, only his men, and only until the war is over. And when the time comes, Amryn will remove the ward so that Bryaxis can be let out. But Feyre is smart with her wording. She's learning about making these deals. And she says, then it's a bargain. You will obey your orders in this war. Fight for us until we no longer need you. And in exchange, we shall bring the sun, the moon, and the stars in your home.
Didn't the Bone Carver also ask for a window?
Yes, remember, because even last week I was saying, oh, but maybe this is the way to see each other, because a window could be reflective, right? And the mirror can technically see.
Well, the mirror is like, I think they even said a window to the world, right?
Yeah.
The mirror was called a window to the world, and then this Bryaxis wants a window as well, and that's weird.
Oh, nice. Andrea's looking that up. Yeah. So now they're back at home. The hour's over. Everyone is ready to whittle to the human lands. And Feyre tells Rhys about the deal that she made. But then it's like time for them to leave. But like Reese and Farrah just taking this all in because they don't know this is the last time they're going to see the townhouse, the last time that they're all going to be together. And so they're like, okay, let's go. But now they just realize what they could potentially be losing. End of chapter. Dun, dun, dun. What do you guys think?
The meeting was the highlight of the entire thing.
It was. I mean, I think it was meant to be.
You know what? Just something that kind of annoyed me was when Nesta is telling Farrah, like, something is freaking wrong. And Farrah's like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But then Cassian gets wind of Nesta saying something is wrong. Asriel gets wind first that Nesta says something is wrong. And he's like, I'm going to go check it out. What are you feeling? What's going on? All of the boys were like, what? Tell us more so we can
ride or die.
And her own sister was like, shut up, bitch.
Well, yes. But I think that goes to prove the relationship that they have. They don't have a good relationship with each other.
Yeah.
They don't know how to be siblings.
Yeah, I agreed.
Okay. But y'all agree there's some shady situation with Eris and Moore, right? Like, we don't have the whole story.
Yeah, I already told you. I think Eris is gay. Or he's Helian Jr. He swings both ways.
No, not that. I just mean like there's some big secret that they're holding on to, like beside them being gay. Like there's some like deep, like something crazy like Helian is Lucian's dad. Like I think something crazy like that is happening. Like maybe they got a secret kid together. So I don't know. So something is up with the.
I mean, I'm here for it. I think that's a very unhinged theory, and I'm here for it. But yeah, I don't think that. I think Eris knows that Moore is gay. Maybe he caught her or saw her doing something and like...
I don't think... You think Moore is being quiet about being gay?
She is.
She is.
She admits in Silver Flame that she swings. Yeah.
Man, I gotta read that one. I haven't read that one in a while. Okay, cool. Also, I thought this was so crazy. Her two sisters bought her time to run. The two ladies did not walk out of that war camp again. And it just reminded me of all the times you said that Elain walked out of camp or walked into the camp.
Oh yeah, she definitely walked into the camp. Yeah. We're going to get to that in like 10 more chapters. It is my opinion she walked in. Now, did she walk into the camp because she knew she had to walk in because she was using her seer power? That is a very possibility. And she knew she had to like sway this. But I don't think she was just like kidnapped.
I think the cauldron did call to both of them.
Or
just like
the cauldron called to her and she walked her ass into the camp.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, Elain is kind of our sassy topic. So
is she?
We all saying Elain is a filler character. We all think there's something bigger to her. I might honestly think she might be the most powerful sister of the three at some point. But she's starting to... How is she like reclaiming her narrative, or how is her story slowly starting to form now? Like
until this point?
Yeah.
Listen, your theory's so deep in my head, I couldn't even tell you nothing about her.
I was gonna say, if it wasn't for your theory, I probably would have brushed her off again.
Yeah.
Honest to God. But now you're like, what if Elain this? And I'm like, oh shit, now I'm paying attention to every little thing Elain says, and now things are making sense.
So
I hope you're so fucking right. I just hope you're right because I love this theory.
I hope I'm right too, but I don't know. But I hope I'm right too.
Okay, what's the sassy topic again? Say it again.
So like now that we know more about Elain, you know, how is she reclaiming her narrative? How is she reshaping her narrative from what we have been like told in the book about her? Like,
okay.
Yeah. And we're either going to agree with each other or we're not going to agree with each other. So, but it sounds like you guys are all on my bandwagon, so we're going to all agree.
Is the question, how is she reclaiming her narrative herself? Or how are we as the reader seeing it?
Well, let's do both.
Okay, well, she's not doing shit for herself.
She's not doing shit. There's a lot of heavy lifting from the people around her. She's had all of 12 lines. And she's... Like she's opening our eyes to I don't think to your point, she ain't doing shit. She's revealing some stuff about herself.
We're putting the puzzle together, but she's not giving us shit. Like we're just figuring it out for ourselves. But I can't participate because I don't think she's doing anything.
I mean, I think that she is, once she realized that her visions were not just fucking wacky shit, she started opening up more about what she was seeing, and they were able to they were able to talk about the queen across the water, about the fucking the fire, the dragon, the bird on fire, and all this other stuff. So like, once she realized, oh wait, I may have a role to play, she started talking a lot more. She started divulging a lot more of what she was seeing.
Snapping out of it, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I do think that, again, since you guys are on my bandwagon, I do think she is kind of reshaping her narrative. I think, to Derek's point, I do think she was going through trauma. I don't doubt for a second that she was trying to figure out like what she was seeing. And I think once she figured out that she was seeing like actual events happen or whatnot, I do think she like took it back. But I also think this is shaping the narrative for us as readers, because I think now we're like, oh, she's important, but she's still super weak and frail and whatnot. But really, she has more information probably than anyone else because she's a seer. So like, why are we still making her seem like she's all right? Like, she knows more than Reese knows. She could just tap into her power. Like, she is probably like the most powerful out of all of them right now because she can see what's going to happen in the war.
But she don't know what none of it means. Yeah.
Just because she has information doesn't mean she knows what the
It's
fuck
like,
to do with
have
it.
you ever seen The Minority
tell
Report
somebody.
with Tom Cruise?
Seen which one?
The Minority Report with Tom Cruise?
Oh, yeah, but like a long time ago. So if you're asking me to like really, really remember, you're going to have to refer to one.
And I don't really, really remember either. I just know it was 3 of them, and Tom Cruise was trying to get away from the fact that he was going to kill somebody but they couldn't do anything about it. They just saw it.
I don't know. I think Elain, I don't know, maybe. I think Elain still does more. I think she's now slowly changing. Like, this
all 5 books that we have right now, we know more about Gwen and what's that other girl with the wings who got cut off? Emery, thank you. We know more about them and their backstory than we know about Elain.
Yeah.
Fair.
So to your
hasn't had her book
point,
yet.
when we get her book, we're going to find the fuck out what the hell was going on this whole time, because she's very tuned into Grayson and his daddy and all the work they've been doing. Meanwhile, she's been stuck over here making bread and seeing ravens. And then even prior to that, wasn't she going to marry some other guy? Yeah. Thomas? Or was that Nesta?
No, that was Nesta. That was Nesta.
Shit, okay. Yeah. And I'm telling you, if you didn't have this theory, we would be like, damn, Elaine's gonna die. She's useless. There's no reason for her to be.
Yeah, I also think it's crazy that she started tapping into this shit and accepting this shit the second that she felt a little bit of something for Lucian.
Do you think she's always had this?
I feel like she didn't know what the fuck to do with it. She's like, God, what is all this? And then, Lucian's off to do his thing, and she's like, like she kind of was like, and now she's opening up like nothing, like, you know what I'm saying?
She faking. Yeah, she playing. Okay.
I don't know,
man.
Unless that gave her purpose. Unless now you she's like, I got something to fight for.
Barf.
Sorry, I know you want him dead, but maybe.
I think Lucian's important, and especially now that he's the sole heir of the Day Court, they can't kill him.
He gotta die.
No, they're not going to kill him.
Who would you rather die, Cassian or Lucian?
Lucian, but I don't think they're going to kill him. But Cassian's death brings more to the plot.
I hate, man. No, I was listening to last week's podcast, and I was like, son of a bitch. I think everyone's right. Cassian dying would be like so catastrophic.
Listen, she can't. The way I would be so pissed at him. Not only did you make us wait years, you made us wait years to kill him off.
Well, I think she's going to kill him, but I think she's going to be brought back to life, because if we know anything, from these books that we're reading. Like, Feyre dies, we brought her back. Spoiler alert, Rhys is about to die, we're going to bring him back. There's no way that Nesta is going to be like, bring him back. Like, she's going to say, you brought your mate back. You know she's going to fight. So, like, while he dies, I think she's going to be like, bring him back.
Yeah. I don't think Nesta will.
I think
she'll make a rip in the world and she'll have access to the dead and the living and live in a middle plane.
I love that theory.
Because she's like the death.
Yeah, I love that.
The queen of death or whatever. And so, because it's like taboo to bring back your loved ones because they're, and so his soul, wasn't there something about a soul? That might be a different book.
All I know is Amber probably should die at the end of this and she doesn't. So.
Amren?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When we get to that chapter, it's, we got like 20 more chapters.
I think that Amren is a villain.
She's not a villain. She literally is protecting Valaris.
Didn't we just talk about when you are in a situation and it's good for you, what are you willing to do to keep this situation?
Yeah, plus I want to say what you're and to piggyback off of that.
Yes, and
they did say that when she's unbound from her body, she doesn't know who the fuck you are anymore.
Yeah.
She could be anything after that. The relationship that she has with these people now will cease to exist.
Okay.
So yeah, she could come back. She could unbound her body and then come back as this fucking.
And she probably not
She's
even
an assassin. She's an assassin. Her other body was an assassin.
Hey. Listen, when do you start Crescent City? I need to know.
I just need to finish this one. So I just have one book. I should finish it probably like 1 or 2 days. Because I just need a breather in between another.
Just start
another
Saturday.
One.
Saturday works for me.
Okay, well then bye everybody.
Bye.